What's up, peeps and fellow geeks? The average end user here, and I'm trying to get this transplant finished. These parts came out of this case, which, as you all can see, is much larger than this case. So the first issue I ran into was where to mount the radiator. There's not enough space at the back of the case, so my idea was to mount it in the front. Unfortunately, the mounting holes do not line up because of the extra extensions on the radiator. It either hits the top of the power supply cage or it hits the bottom of the case. So I came up with this idea, some spacers. So I have to drill some holes in the front of the case, and then I should be able to mount this back there and still be able to get some fans in the front for extra airflow. Alright, I've made a tape template. Now I'm just going to transfer it to the front of the case and drill some holes. Alright, let's get this placed. I think roughly in between should work. Let's drill some holes. Also have to remove the power supply from the old case. Once all the screws are removed, just pull the whole thing out. This massive unit. This thing is so overkill for this little box. I hope it even fits. And this is the spaghetti mess that comes with it. This is a partially modular power supply. Unfortunately, I don't have the rest of the cables. Just these two. But again, more than enough for this little guy. Okay, so this monster power supply is in no way fitting in that case, so I will be back at some point with plan B. Okay, I think I have found plan B. So if you notice, the power supply in this case a little shorter, but it should still work. Okay, I'm going to confess, never heard of this brand before. Also says it's 850 watts. Not too sure about that. Let's do a little size comparison. Quite a bit of difference and quite a bit of weight. This one's not super light, but definitely doesn't weigh nearly as much as this one. But again, this is what I've got, so this is what I'm going with. It was a bit of a tight fit, but she did go in. Now let's do the best we can with cable management, which is going to be horrible. It's a really good thing this case has a very dark acrylic side panel and a very dark front panel. Put the RGB fans up front and it takes away from the fact that you can't see the inside of the case. Alright, the power supply is in. I have the 24 pin hooked up, and the way this is routed, which I think is pretty clean, I shouldn't have any issues getting the radiator and fan assembly up here. Alright, so this drill bit I'm going to be using is just a little bit bigger than the diameter of the screw, so shouldn't have any issues. And yeah, let's get to drilling some holes. Alright, I don't have a hole punch to get these started, so hopefully I won't screw this up. Okay. Okay, and last hole. And I'll try and deburr those a little bit so they don't cut the crap out of me, and get this fan and radiator mounted. Then, believe it or not, I just use a little bit of tape to get, it'll get 99% of the metal shavings up and out. I don't think that's going to focus in there. But it looks pretty clean. The magnet held most of it, and tape got the rest of it. Alright, here we go. This is going to be a little awkward, but so it might be a little impossible. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. Oh well, crap, we have a problem, folks. Okay, so I have to do all of that over. So the issue was where I put the holes, the radiator was actually hitting into the GPU. The holes I drilled are right here, and that put the tubes right there. So yeah, that didn't work, so I'm going to have to bump it up. Luckily, I can get away with only having to drill 2 more holes because these bottom holes on the radiator will actually line up with these holes here. Attempt number 2. Got the tape repositioned, holes are lined up with the bottom set. Let's give her a go again. Alright, hopefully it works this time. Alright, got her mounted. Let's get some more things hooked up, and yeah, I can finally call this thing done. Okay, so it's taken a great deal of cussing and backtracking to get to this point, but so far I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I had forgotten about the front panel. That's back on. Had to run the wires for that and then hook everything up at the bottom of the case. Hopefully there will not be an issue with the fans. I guess we'll soon find out. I'm going to put the graphics card back in. Alright, the card's back in. Get this thing plugged up and see if everything works. Here's a quick shot of the interior. Not too bad with everything that I have crammed in here. Alright, here we go. Turn the power switch on. Oh, keyboard lit up. Monitor. And now power. Oh, got a fan not working. Didn't realize that was glowing red. Okay, we'll have to try and fix that. And we have a boot. So the transplant is a success. Let me know what you guys prefer. Take the blue strip out and then leave the red, or shut the red off and leave the blue strip.